food, and we know when it comes to cooking, the prep work, gosh, it's like the worst part, right? But if you have the right tools, we're gonna make it a whole lot easier for you. Take a look. I actually have this at home. I bought them for gifts last year because they work. They're Cuisinart, and they're at a great price point, $19.95, no kidding, for all 10 pieces. You get 5 different knives, you get 5 of the protective sheaths that go over them. But this is like that perfect marriage of the non-stick of ceramic and the strength you get from the steel. I mean, really, these are great lifetime warranty as well. I can't believe this price point, Mark Gill. You're an expert in the kitchen. When you saw this price, you were probably like, what is this? Yeah. This is gonna be some Bobo knives.
I don't get very excited when I see prices like that for knives come across my desk.
I know.
But it was different this time.
It's a great variety too. You're gonna use these for every job, odd job.
These are your workhorse knives. And have a look here, guys. Every one of them right out of the gate is gonna come with a sheath. That means I'm not gonna try and get 25 bucks out of you for a wood block. Isn't that nice? That'll protect your fingers and the knives in the drawers, which I love. Now guys, when we're talking about the kind of quality that we expect at a Cuisinart, man, these knives have it. I've been playing with knives for 30 years. When it comes to the features that I'm looking for, these guys nailed it.
You're just showing off at this point, Mark. Come on.
Now let me show you what I mean, okay? First things first, this at its heart is a stainless steel knife. It's ceramic over stainless steel. That means you get the best of both worlds. First things first, this knife is sharpened on both sides. Now before you think to yourself, well, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, guys, go into your drawer and find a knife and pull it through a fruit or a vegetable. Chances are it's gonna shoot to one side or the other. Oh. That's a knife that's only sharpened on one side. I can't tell you how much I love the control of being able to turn grapes into contact lenses on live TV. That's the real deal, guys. Now, this coating, while pretty, is also functional. Guys, that's your ceramic. This is the same coating that they use to bring the space shuttle back into to protect it from the atmosphere. So it's good enough for a spaceship. It's good enough for your celery, all right? These won't scratch. They're damage resistant. They won't, there we go, they won't stain even with beads. And what's cool about this guy even has a French tip, which is the same angle that your wrist hits your hand with. And so when you're doing close work, boy, you've always heard that a sharp knife is a good knife or a dull knife is a dangerous knife. Never is that more relevant with something like this. Look at how easy that goes through. Now guys, that's our chef's knife, and that's just knife number 1.
Look at that. So again, yes, they're pretty, but they work. And when you see a price like $19.95, I think you get worried about what you're getting. You're not choosing which knife, but it's Cuisinart, which, you know, that's a brand, been around, been doing this a long time. They're not gonna put their name on some rinky-dink knives that don't work. So when we show you these demos, it's legitimate. And I'm not at Mark Gill level when it comes to cutting cucumbers, but they do make my job a lot easier.
Now guys, watch this. This is our Santoku knife, all right? Now this might be the Santoku knife that you're familiar with all the little divots taken out. You know why they do that?
Why?
So the blade separates from the food. Well, that's one of the coolest things about ceramic. You don't have to worry about that. In fact, have a look at this tomato here, you guys. This is the real deal. You want to talk about a knife that performs? You want to talk about a knife that goes where you tell it to go with no extra pressure? You don't have to force it or anything? That's the kind of knife we're talking about. And by the way, just so you know, a lot of people see this demo, they're like, hold on, there's a nail there, there's a tack there, there's something there. Guys, there's nothing there. That's the quality of the knife. And because we don't have to take those little divots out, now you don't need a cleaver because you haven't lost the weight of the knife. So when it comes time for the heavy jobs, like frozen things, or you gotta cut through a leather shoe or a can or a pineapple, or you gotta hack that guy up, this is definitely the knife to do it. But when it comes to real world problems, watch this, okay? Because this is what we all actually deal with. You might as well use the back of a knife or a spoon to cut through that. Well, this is Cuisinart. This is quality since 1972. This is a limited lifetime warranty. And guys, this is our Santoku knife, and it's just knife number 2. How cool is that?
Look at that. Yeah, knife number 2. You're getting 5 knives along with those protective sheaths. You know, this is actually the lowest price that we've ever featured these before. This entire set for $19.95. Typically, you're looking at $49.95, which even that, I think, is a great deal for
I'd be happy with that for these.
Ceramic stainless steel knives. So take advantage of that $19.95. They come in a beautiful box. They're great for gifting as well. But it's all the practical things. I know we're showing you crazy demos like with the little grapes and, you know, chopping at the pineapple in like 10 seconds. But when it comes to like the real life stuff, like you're saying, it's gonna make it easier and it's safer. It is safer to have a better, sharper knife. And if you open up that knife drawer and you see a bunch of rusted knives, there's dull blades, go ahead and replace them now, 20 bucks. I mean, on FlexPay, it's $4.99 to get a really fantastic set.
And by the way, the right tools make the job a lot easier. That's a caprese salad, what were we at, 27 seconds?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, can I get this out before he finishes?
I love it. Now, this is where I like to stop the show for a second and say, if you know anybody that camps, boats, hunts, fishes, hikes, trikes, whatever, does anything sportsman-wise, get them on in here, man, because they got to see this. This is the kind of demonstration that you usually see on knives that are reserved for having a big flex to them or a big price tag, all the hunting and fishing knives. So guys, watch this. This is your slicing knife, by the way. This is what's going to take care of your holiday hams and turkeys. But watch this, you guys. I love this. Now, first things first, bet you didn't know there was skin on that when I went through it. It's like it's, how many of you ever sawed away at a piece of fish, right? Yeah. But this is what I want you to see. Guys, this type of demonstration, like I said, is normally reserved for a very specialized, very expensive knife. But because we have ceramic over stainless steel, we have the non-stick, it's a knife that won't grab, won't transfer flavors or odors. At the end of the day, you just have a Cuisinart knife with a lifetime guarantee that gives you cuts like, and I'm gonna do that twice. Cuts like this. Let me do that one more. I can almost put that back on there.
I've busted out a fork and a knife and a chisel and a hacksaw before. Just
tell you what.
But really, you do go through a lot of trouble to get the skin. Look at that.
Like it's not even there, you guys. That's awesome. The real deal. Now that's your slicing knife, and that's knife number 3.
How do you recommend we care for these? Because they're so special. Do they need special care?
Top rack dishwasher safe is cool if that's the way you want to go. Personally, when it comes to knives, it's metal, it's steel, even when it's stainless. You know, water is one of the most destructive things in the world, right? So when it comes to a knife that I love, I just take 2 seconds when I'm done with it, because that's when it's the easiest to clean. Give it a wash, put it back in the sheath, and put it back in the drawer. That's what I love to do.
Because of that ceramic coating, you won't have food all stuck to the knife either. And then the sheaths that come with it are aerated, so that's good. It's going to let the air breathe while it's in the drawer. And you can throw those in the dishwasher
anytime you want, for sure.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so now we
lunch,
keep moving
right
along.
here.
Well, lunch, I'll tell you this. That's the special sandwich. Here's what I like to talk about with this knife. I was a little surprised when we got the set in, and there was a specialty knife. That one kind of blew me away. Here's what I mean. Now, remember what I said about knives being sharpened on both sides? Super important, except for a knife like this. Okay. This is only sharpened on one side, and you're gonna see why in a second. Serrated knives have a tendency to tear, especially soft breads, okay? So here's the deal. If you go into one of those fancy dancy kitchen stores at the mall, and you see like the specialty knife section, they are low production, means the company doesn't make many, but they charge a lot because it costs a lot to make them, and they do very specific work. So here's what I mean. It's Saturday.
Yes.
You've made that sandwich that you're not allowed to eat, okay? And you don't want anything that's gonna mess it up. So guys, watch this. Not only is this cool for getting things ready like the tomatoes and the onions and stuff, but it's nice and wide. This is gonna be the type of knife that your guy at the deli has, or your guy at the butcher shop. So now you've got one knife that does a whole bunch of jobs, but here's where it gets cool. And here's why people spend so much money on specialty knives, you guys. Now remember, it's only sharpened on one side, so it's not gonna tear that bread, which is cool. But here's the best part. Watch this, I love it. Look at this. No crumbs are falling. No crumbs are falling. That's because the knife was designed to give you that picture perfect, you gotta be kidding me cut. And the fact that that knife is included in a set like this, tell you, that's pretty awesome.
And I just used this little paring knife this morning, coincidentally, to cut up strawberries for my son's lunch, because it's nice and small, it gets the job done, it just gets in there.
Well, every good set of knives needs a paring knife, no question about it. This has the same sheath, same Cuisinart, same ceramic over stainless steel. And here's a little tip for you guys when you're out looking for one of these. A paring knife should be the approximate length from the top of your hand to the tip of your finger. That's it, that's all, because you want, especially a knife like this, to have complete control in the kitchen, because this is where,
knife,
well, this is the one that your fingers are close to. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure you know where that knife's going. Anytime you have to push a knife down, across, up, whatever, harder than you think you should have to, that knife is now dangerous. By the way, look at this. The garlic runs away from the ceramic. How many times do you go and cut garlic and it sits there and you got to pick it off? Look at it. It pops right off. And it's got the same blade, which I love. And here's the best part, Michelle. You ready for this?
I didn't even see you cutting it until I see the piece come off.
This is the knife that Grandma cuts towards herself with. So you want to make sure that this is the blade that's going to be the best one in the drawer. So guys, whether it's the paring knife, the specialty knife, the chef's knife, the slicing knife, or the Santoku knife, you get all 5, you get the sheaths, it's incredible.
And you get that limited lifetime warranty, because Cuisinart stands behind its quality for sure. So yeah, if you're just tuning in, it's not just one knife for $19.95. We're gonna send you all 5, and then it comes with that protective sheath as well. They're color coordinated, which yes, they're pretty, but it also helps you keep track of what you use for what, avoid cross-contamination. And these really do do work. I think at the end of the day, they can look great. We can show you all the demos in the world, but read the reviews. You know, these have over 580 perfect 5-star reviews.
Wow,
and we have
fantastic.
sold hundreds of thousands of these because they work. I mean, at the end of the day, that's just it. This is the lowest price we've ever done, so if you're interested in picking them up, they're $19.95 for all 5 knives, for flex pay on this as well. So $4.99, and we will send this to you, and you just put them to work and see. You have 30 days to try anything out here at HSN. So, I mean, you might not be, again, at Mark Gill status when it comes to cutting skin off of salmon, but I'll tell you what, having the right knife is gonna help you get there.
Having the right tools is a big deal, man, I gotta tell you. And you mentioned the colors. Let me tell you one of the other things that's cool about the colors. You said you had little ones, right?
Yes.
When's the last time you said to your little one, hey, do me a favor and go get the chef's knife out of the knife block? You don't do that as a parent. The cool thing about having the sheaths on this, go get the blue knife, go get the green knife, go get the purple knife. That's easy when you're a parent.
Wow, yeah, hey, good point, very good point.
All right.
Speaking of things being sharp, you know, eventually you're gonna have to sharpen your knives. And whether it's this set or the set you currently have at home, we have a great little sharpener here from Cuisinart if you're interested. Show us how